I apologize, guys. I totally meant to video all of this that I've been doing for the last hour or so and just realized that I never actually started recording. So I want to kind of catch you up on what I'm doing. I'm not done yet, so still a good learning opportunity, I guess. Learning opportunity for me again as well. This is probably the fourth or fifth Fireplace box or firebox that I've installed, and I still make mistakes every time. I think I'm getting better at it, but there's still things that I could tweak to do it better. But I want to show you guys this firebox before I mount it and kind of show you how I go about setting one of these. So I've already lifted it in place, but you can see that this box is just totally loose here. It's not connected to anything yet. So this is a firebox, and essentially there is a hole on the inside right here where my gas line will go into, propane, that goes up there across the bathroom over to the end of the house where the propane tank will sit. Doing propane because we don't have natural gas. But this is a 36-inch firebox. It's a good size one. We've done 42s, we've done 32s. This is a good medium, 36. Not the biggest, but definitely not the smallest. So essentially what we wanted is we're going with a more modern fireplace. We're not doing a hearth. A hearth is the part that at the bottom of the box that sticks out that you can like sit on or whatever, usually brick. We're not doing that just because we didn't want to take up any more floor space than we already are with the fireplace itself. This is going to be really modern looking. It's going to be drywalled, and then we're going to do a trim wood like crown molding encasement around it with a little bit of a mantle. The TV will mount up there, obviously. But anyways, I wanted to get this installed because it's just something that I've been needing to do and haven't yet. And I'll show you a picture of what it looked like before I did this. And now you can see what I did. I basically raised it up. So basically, my framers did all of the header work, all of the like faux chimney, I guess you could say, work, and the general box. I gave them spec dimensions. But they made the opening way bigger than it needs to be because they weren't sure how high I wanted the fireplace. So what I did is I came in here, did some math, figured out my rough opening minimums that I have to have for fire safety code and stuff like that, and figured that I could bring this box up from the floor about a foot. And so what I did, and please don't judge my framing, I'm not a framer, but what I did back here is I added a board here along these back studs. I added a miniature wall, you can see going that way, but it looks like a really, really short wall basically there. And then I did the same on the front. So basically I built two miniature walls and then just a little ledger board on the back, all at the same height, and nailed it into the existing framing, tied it all together nice and strong. So now there is 3 support spots for where my firebox is going. It's supported in the back, it's supported in the middle, and it's supported in the very front, as you can see. So now, instead of my firebox just sitting on the floor, it's raised up about a foot, which is enough for us to either do trim around the bottom, do a little tile work between the box and the floor, whatever we want to do, there's room for that. You also just generally don't want your fire right up on your floor. We've got a kid and stuff like that. We want to keep it kind of up a little bit. So I think that's a good happy medium. It's not super high, but I think it looks good. So now what I'm doing, I picked it up. It's not heavy, into place. These little tabs are folded. They come, let me see if I can, yeah, they come folded like that. You just fold them out. There's 4 on each side. And basically you get it level and get it where you want it. You slide it all the way in, up against there, and then you screw it in. And that's it. So nothing crazy, but it is something that is kind of good to know how to do. And I saved about $600 doing it myself. That's what they wanted to charge me to come and do it. So I think that's worthwhile. An issue I just realized that I'm going to have to resolve is you can see there's a gap. These screw tabs are barely catching framing on this side. And on this side, they're really not at all catching. You can see daylight through them. That has to hit solid framing. It's the only thing that's holding this thing in place. So what I did is I measured from the inside of the opening, the framing, to inside of the framing. It's 41 inches. Then I measured my box. outside to outside. It's 39 1/4. That's about 1 3/4 inches, I think. Divide that by 2, and that gives me my centered gap on each side. Essentially, with these screws too, I'm gonna have about 3/4 of an inch of a gap on each side. So what I'm gonna do is I went also and I did a tick mark above these screw plates, tick mark at the bottom of them, tick mark on top, tick mark on bottom. On both sides, that's about 9 inches. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut 4 9-inch pieces of board that are 3/4 inches wide, and I'm gonna take the firebox back out and nail that in here as some blocking to fill this void just where my screw holes are. And then that will give me something secure to screw those tabs into. So that's just like, here's the thing. You just kind of got to make it work. Like, there's just things that don't work out perfectly that you've got to fix, and that's fine. That's just part of it. So this is what I was talking about. I just found some of this 1x material they used for my brick pocket around my house. It's 3/4 inches thick, and I just tacked 2 pieces on the inside with my nail gun there on each side where they need to land, and that will bring me out enough to where my screws will catch. That's all I'm trying to do, is get those screws to catch. So it's not pretty, it's not perfect. I'm going to take these staples out before I put my firebox back in, but that's what we need. We need solid framing for these things to catch, and that will accomplish it.